everyone, and welcome to the Super Dandori Bros Podcast, Episode 5. We are your hosts, Leighton and Ryan, and the topic for today is a fun one. We're finally getting out of the talking about ourselves and switch to, and we're going to talk about a funny concept. Actually, I'm going to let you introduce this, Ryan, because you're the one that came up with it. I think it's really great.
Yeah, sure. So when we first started talking about doing a podcast, I had created like a note to self on my phone, like a huge list of like wacky ideas that I really wanted to get to. We have a ton of them coming up. We think that you're really going to enjoy them, but this one is a personal favorite of mine. I think it's also kind of general, which is why we wanted to start with it. And it's the worst Nintendo spin-off game ideas. Now, Nintendo's had a lot of spin-off games in the past, and not all of them land, but most of them are at least playable. So we've each, over the past week, come up with our own ideas, and it sounds like comparing notes. We don't know what each other's ideas are, but just sort of our general philosophies. Mine are in the, like, it's playable for 5 minutes category, whereas Leighton's seems to be a little bit more playable, so it's going to be kind of cool seeing like the two different approaches to what we consider to be a terrible spin-off game idea, and we hope that it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I struggled with this because I ended up coming up with all these ideas that I think that would actually, like, some of them I think could actually be fun, but they're just so, like, I guess they're just terrible in the sense that, like, I don't see Nintendo ever coming up with this, or I could see people just being absolutely horrified if this was, like, a legit thing. So yeah, I definitely went more for like the bad PR approach. So,
nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know who wants to start. Where do you want to start?
I can go ahead and start. I'm going to start off with sort of a tame one that's never going to happen, but would be, kind of funny, and it does connect to our like favorite games on a platform discussion. So I've mentioned that one of my favorite DS games. In fact, my favorite DS game is Trauma Center Under the Knife 2. So my thought was, if Mario's an MD, if he's a doctor, why is there no Dr. Mario surgery simulator? I mean, really, like this seems so obvious. It's such a pro Nintendo thing to have surgery simulators in their games. I mean, doesn't that just scream family friendly?
Yeah, I mean, well, I just think that like it's just easy money. But so explain to me then, like, with this, what makes it different than say Trauma Center? Like, is there a different spin, or is it just Trauma Center with Mario, Dr. Mario?
I mean, it would just so it essentially would be Trauma Center with Mario, but it would be Toads. And as we know, the anatomy of Toads is actually kind of weird, based on how Nintendo has talked about them. Like the mushroom on their head, that's their head. It's not a hat. So you could get like really wacky with Dr. Mario. There's no way that this would ever get made, but I think it would be absolutely hilarious and such a genre swap, because like obviously I don't think that there's ever once, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's ever once been a drop of blood in a Mario game, but this could really break some ground here. And I mean, who doesn't want to carve up Toads? I mean,
Well, I'm curious too, like, would there be like specific Mario themed ways of doing surgery? So it's not just operating on Toads, but you also have like, does the super mushroom do something different in surgery, or the fire flower for cauterizing?
Well, and I'm glad that you asked. Yes, exactly. The fire flower would be used for like cauterizing or cutting through tissue. You could I would think that if it's something like let's say that you needed to do like a heart transplant or whatever, then you could take like one of the hearts from Super Mario Odyssey, the ones that expanded your health gauge, and just end up grafting that in. Like ultimately, like you could do all kinds of wacky things with it. It's a terrible spin-off idea. Like Nintendo, like if I propose that to Nintendo, there's no way that they would actually go for it. But I think that it's a great idea personally. I would definitely play it.
Now, here's another thing, right? So are we just assuming this is coming at, like, if we were to, since this is all theoretical, right?
Yeah,
would you pick a specific system that you would love for it to come out on? Like, would this be a DS game or a Wii game or a Switch game, Switch 2 game?
We're gonna make it Wii U, just to ensure that it's dead. Just to ensure that it would never succeed, it would definitely be Wii U. And released nowadays, it's like the last Wii U game. They're just like, oh, by the way, we're coming out with a new Wii U game, and it's going to be the Dr. Mario surgery simulator.
You have to buy it in the black market.
Oh, 100%. And what I envision is like the terrible like Newgrounds game, like Flash game level graphics and sound design, just to put a cherry on top. And of course, like whenever you make like a mistake, you would definitely have Mario go oof or Mamma Mia or something like that. It's like ultimately, I think it would be a winner. It would absolutely be a winner.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's potential there. I mean, I think if Nintendo really wants to grab the hardcore market, especially, with this, well, it'd be on a Wii U, I guess, but I was to say if they did put on the Switch too, I mean, they'd definitely grab some headlines, and get some attention. And just, it's Nintendo's way of trying to help the shortage of surgeons and stuff in this world. We need more, and it would inspire the next generation.
Absolutely. Inspire the next generation of surgeons with like totally inaccurate anatomy.
We've got to start somewhere.
Exactly. Just start them when they're young. All right, so that was my first idea. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, I don't know, but I want to hear yours.
So I have so many, and so I'm gonna actually pick one that kind of you got me thinking about it by your idea, and that's Pokemon Butcher.
Okay.
So we never see like the food that they eat in the Pokemon world, but there's kind of hinted that they do eat Pokemon. So
yes.
Why not have a game where you actually get to do the butchering? So it's kind of like a Cooking Mama style game, but like a little bit more, I guess, graphic. And so you're the butcher in the Pokemon world. You have to learn all the different techniques to killing, cleaning, and butchering different types of Pokemon for food. And so you're like you could have your magic carp, and you're just like slicing the scales off, and you're getting the fillets, and then you have your I don't know, you need some Tauros meat. I don't know. You just
absolutely.
And you have to go take them behind the shed and take care of it.
Yeah, the Miltank. Let's see. Is there a chicken Pokemon? I feel like there's a chicken Pokemon.
I think there is. I keep catching them in Pokemon Go. So
I can never remember. I'm sure it's going to come to me later. Like, I love Pokemon for whatever reason. I can't remember.
Well, Farfetch is great because he already comes with a leak. So
that's true. It already does. And I think there actually is a shot from the anime of like a Magikarp that has been filleted.
Right.
I think there is a shot of that. So,
but is it the Japanese version only?
I think it almost certainly is.
4 kids wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, there's no shot. But that would be a phenomenal way to... like if you were going to cook... If you were to make a cooking simulator, you would have to do it for Pokemon with that. Like, I mean, technically they have the Pokemon Cafe Remix. But all those are sweets. Well, not all of them, but most of them are sweets, probably for a reason.
There's an ice cream Pokemon, too. It literally is already made.
That's actually a really good point. So, like, you could butcher things that you normally wouldn't need to butcher. So, like, if you wanted to butcher vanilla ice cream, like, you absolutely could do that in Pokemon. That opens up so many possibilities that I'd never thought of before. Maybe this is why Nintendo freaked out about Palworld so much and sued them over a patent violation and not a copyright violation, because they were actually stealing the mechanics of an upcoming Pokemon game. Yeah. Maybe that's it.
That's it. It's going to be like like almost like Breath of the Wild or some kind of survival game where, you have to go out and hunt Pokemon, It's like to survive.
That sounds good to me.
It's a Growlithe world.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's my weird off the wall idea. All right, on to the next one. I don't know if we're gonna keep upping the ante here a little bit.
Absolutely. So for my next one, I'm actually quite proud of this. So, did you ever like play The Sims?
Yes.
Okay. So, picture this, okay? Nintendo wants to compete in this space. What IP do they use? I'm sure you immediately think Animal Crossing, right? No, I got one better for you.
Okay.
Pikmin. 100 Sims to manage at once, but it's Pikmin. You need to make them poop. You need to make them eat. You need to make them shower. You need to make them sleep. But you got to manage them all in real time. There's no pause button. and you got to manage them all in real time and see how many of them you can keep alive.
Can you trap them in a room and catch it on
Oh,
fire?
absolutely. Well, see, and you could the fire only works on everything but red Pikmin. Drowning only works on everything but blue Pikmin. And of course, you'd need to, you want to make it equal. So you'd have to be able to electrocute them. You'd have to be able to poison them. The possibilities are endless. If you wanted Pikmin carnage, this is the way to do it.
Oh
Either through neglect or through just straight up murdering Pikmin.
I'm just imagining the emotes the Pikmin make during dancing or having to pee and just all the
whoa,
leaving dishes on the floor.
Exactly. Calling the pizza dude and not picking up the pizza.
Wait, so the Pikmin have to go to work and stuff too?
Yeah, you have to apply for jobs and make sure they don't get fired and stuff like that. Which, I mean, everyone knows that Olimar is a pretty tough boss.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you don't perform, I mean, the stakes are pretty high. Let's be real. When Pikmin are terminated, it means a different thing than if you're terminated in real life. You know what I mean?
Right. And then, every now and then, Louis comes by your house and just makes a mess of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just ends up cooking something, just makes a ton of dishes, and then the Pikmin are like, I don't want to take care of this. And here's the best part, is that you remember in The Sims how you had to train them to learn to cook and learn to work out. They had the little skill points.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine all of your work wasted just because a Pikmin trips and falls in a pool. I mean, it's perfect. What stellar game design.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I could imagine that selling very well. Maybe that's the Pikmin spin-off game that we're supposedly getting, according to leaks. We'll see.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, dude, just a Pikmin life simulator. Dude.
Yep.
I never would have seen
Pims. All right. So now I gotta know, what's your next one?
Oh, man, I'm trying to pick through, but I think I'll start with the one I had at the top of the list. So, we're talking about Sims, which is a simulator, life simulator, and simulators are kind of fun, and there's a lot of different variety of them. There was a game I played a long time on my phone. It was basically video game developer simulator, which is kind of, you manage an office and you have games. So I thought, well, you can make a simulator of everything. So why not have Super Mario Reddit moderator simulator?
Okay. So pitch it to me. How does this go?
So you start by managing a single subreddit, and then you work your way up in that one subreddit as rankings as an admin, and then you begin to manage more and more subreddits. And you only have so much time per day to moderate, so you have to get good at delegating the moderation to other people and hope that you don't pick perverts to make admins.
This sounds family friendly for sure.
Oh yeah, but your goal is to make it family friendly, or Nintendo shuts down your game.
So I have to know, is there a leveling system or something within this? Does your neckbeard as Mario get are you playing as Mario?
Yeah,
is
Super
Mario finally gonna
Mario.
have a neckbeard?
That's
what I thought.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely it starts as a mustache and it eventually becomes a neckbeard, and then once you're at this full top tier admin, you have a fedora.
Perfect. Yeah, it just switches out. It's still got the M on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
For moderator, it's not even for Mario anymore. It's for moderator.
And then, of course, you start gaining a little bit of weight.
Absolutely. So, if you're going to be delegating these, who do you delegate them to? Is it Toad, Luigi? Is it a Goomba? What is it?
It's all kinds. Anyone, yeah, different. But they're all different variations. Kind of in the Mario RPG games where they're all different caricatures. So you've got some that are they're pretty clean cut, and then you've got the ones who are yeah, I don't want you talking to children.
Oh, this sounds great. I could totally see it. It'll be the big launch title for Switch 2. We think that it's a 3D Mario? No, it's not a 3D Mario.
No, it's Nintendo sending a message that this look, you need to get
We
better
know about the leaks.
We know about
the leaks.
So we're literally creating a game to teach you how to get that stuff on the wraps.
I mean, Nintendo does love to teach lessons in their games.
Oh yeah, well they had the game developer one where you program games for Switch, so why not teach kids how to moderate subreddits so that they can create their own army of moderators that will go out and be just evangelists and keep the Nintendo Reddits, under wraps.
That is true. That is one way to start a grassroots campaign for Nintendo. Maybe that was the long game the whole time.
Otherwise, you get stuck with water buffalo everywhere.
Absolutely.
All right. Next one.
Okay. So, I got one for you. Did you ever play Pokemon Pinball?
No, actually, I didn't.
No. What about Metroid Prime Pinball?
I did play Metroid Prime Pinball.
Okay. So, sorry, 1 second. Cat's got to move. There you go, bud. Sorry about that. So pinball. Pokemon's already gotten one. Metroid's already gotten one. Metroid's kind of an obscure franchise. And I know, like, maybe I'm on a Dr. Mario run here, but you know how pinballs are supposed to roll in the direction that you hit them? That wouldn't be the case if it was a pill. Dr. Mario Pillball. It's an oblong shape that just wobbles all over the board, and the board is shaped like a toad. And so the little like red dots at the top are like the bumpers that it can like bump around in. And then depending on how many pills you load them up with at once, they get different like adverse effects.
Oh no.
Like they start shaking, like the board starts shaking and stuff like that. I mean, this could be like a total disaster, playable for only 5 minutes. And you have to keep multiple pills going at once. That's my pitch. What do you think? Do you think Nintendo will go for it?
Oh man, questionable. But I mean, if they'll go for a Super Mario Reddit moderator, they'll go for this. So I'm just thinking in my head, like the certainly. Physics engine has to be so like good for this game.
Absolutely.
To handle,
and then
it just doesn't perform like a normal ball.
Yeah, and then you could release DLC that would be like Dr. Mario Pillball Malpractice.
Is that the second version or the DLC?
It's the DLC.
Okay.
Like, for sure.
I'm just thinking, like, it's almost like a mixture between Dr. Mario Pinball and, what's the surgery game where you, like, try to get, you know what I'm talking about? Not
the Surgeon Simulator 2013?
No, not the simulator, like the physical game that you Operation. That's there.
Oh, yes, Operation, absolutely.
It's a mixture of that because if the pill gets into certain places, it causes like certain reactions on the board too.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, that's wild. That's great.
I honestly, Nintendo should be listening to these podcasts because these are absolute bangers.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we'll send it to my uncle works at Nintendo, so.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Well, everyone has an uncle that works at Nintendo, so.
Yeah.
It's just
my uncle works at Microsoft, but not for long. They keep shutting down studios.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's sad. Oh, man.
All right, so hit me with your next one.
Okay. So, we're staying on the Mario train here, but this is not Mario per se. So, we've just gone through, I'm not going to get political here, but I'm just going to say we just went through an election, and it got me thinking, who else is someone that deals with like things of authority in different games? Well, it's Princess Peach. But what if it's, instead of it just being, she's a princess now, it's President Peach. So it's Princess Peach President Simulator. So here's the pitch.
Breaking the glass ceiling.
You have been princess for a long time, but Bowser has convinced everyone that it's time for an election rather than a monarchy. So the people decide they want to elect their leader, and now you have to campaign to keep your position. So you have to learn how to game the system, debate the opponents, work with media outlets, and just earn the vote. So you guys basically campaign. You've got to figure out the whole system, and it's super like down to like realistic to how you get people on your side. You have to go to podcasts. You have to get on media outlets. You have to, and then once you're elected, you now have to deal with all the actual issues of being President Peach, so like dealing with issues and the wars and famine and things you've got, and then you've got to try and keep your where is it? You have to keep your approval ratings up so that you can get reelected, and then the cycle continues.
I think it's perfect. It actually kind of reminds me. I feel like around the Wii U era there was like a weird like political RPG. So would it be like, I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to look it up. But do you think that there would be like a leveling aspect to it, or do you think it's like more of like a roguelike where it changes every time, or like how would you do this?
Well, that's a good question. I was thinking leveling up, but I actually like the roguelike idea because I mean that's the nature of life, right? Is that things keep changing, and so you can't just get really good at certain skills and suddenly and then you just can steamroll your way through. It's like, no, you have to actually constantly adapt because the landscape's changing. What was really appealing to this group generation, now the next generation of Toads want something different. And then like sometimes you just get steamrolled and Bowser wins, and now you're on the back end and you've got to try and get elected and try and campaign even when you're not in office.
Are you running against Bowser? Because if you're running against Bowser, I feel like that's like a shoo-in. But if you're running against like Mario,
Well,
I don't know. Maybe Mario's finally in charge.
Well, we could have different characters, but I think Bowser would definitely be someone who's always trying to run. And I think he'd actually be a lot more difficult to run against than you think. I mean, he's kind of like the boss, right, of Mario games.
That's a good point.
He convinced everyone to move over to an election system, so he's already got a lot of sway, and he's obviously offering some great benefits, and he's got this foolproof plan of how he's gonna secure the borders.
I think this sounds great. I would play it. I honestly would.
Yeah, I thought that'd be super funny because I was like, yeah, but instead of Princess Peaches, because we just played Princess Peach Showtime, and it's like, yeah, it's fun. It's all like she's all these different roles, right? Mm-hmm. She's a ninja, she's a cowgirl, whatever. She's all these things. I'm like, what if she's a politician? And also, I just saw the Barbie movie, which is also the same vibe of Barbie can be anything. So I was like, well, let's make Peach President Peach, but it's not just fancy la 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 la. It's like, no, you got to get in there. You got to do the work. You got to campaign. You have to do some smear campaigns against Bowser.
Yeah, and gotta prepare for wartime. You never know when Bowser's gonna strike.
Well, Bowser, or you think about like different Mario games, right? Like the
the Shroobs, Alien Invasion.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
So there's different neighboring kingdoms. The Bean Kingdom. There's it's Bean? I can't remember. It's the original Mario.
Yeah, it is Bean.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played that game, but it's great. So, but that's my pitch.
One. I love it.
Not a simulator.
I think certainly plausible in the future of Mario. I think that could definitely happen.
All right.
So should I move on to my next one?
Yes, I'm excited. I want to hear more.
So you're going to notice a pattern. Pretty much all these are genre swaps.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about this, and do you remember, like we talked about it on the podcast, but Zack and Wiki, and how great Zack and Wiki was?
Oh, yeah.
And how, like, realistically, like, before the mouse capabilities of the Switch 2, like, point and click was, like, pretty much only feasible, like, truly, with the Wii Remote. And so, like, we sort of lost that for a while, but maybe we're getting it back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, here's my pitch. Metroid point and click adventure. It has all the excitement of Metroid, except all the bosses are just sitting still, and you just click the weak spot, and then you win.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like you have like some goofy item that you found along the way that just makes no sense, but somehow like she picked up a jar of peanut butter and that ends up helping beat Kraid because he's allergic to peanuts or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can work in all that wackiness, but just having all of the fast-paced action of Metroid just totally removed for a totally generic like 90s era graphics point and click adventure.
I was going to ask about the graphics.
Oh, it's absolutely going to be terrible. And it's going to be like back during the PC games where the shading was it wasn't actually a lighting system, like they just darkened the textures, kind of like in the original like Deus Ex. Like I don't know if you've ever like played that all the way through.
Not all the way through, but I've played it.
Yeah, but like you know what I'm talking about. It would just look absolutely terrible. I would love it.
Oh, I mean, I'm a huge fan of point and clicks. I've played all the Monkey Island games. We're currently playing King's Quest with the family, and it's like, yeah, it's so difficult to play those games, but they're so endearing because I just love like the goofy wackiness of them. I wish there was more, and I just love the idea of a Metroid one. I'm in my head, I can imagine the really goofy walk animation that she would have, and like,
absolutely, it would just be very jarring.
Yeah,
and could you imagine? Can you imagine like crawling, like essentially rolling through morph ball tunnels, point and click adventure style?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then the dialogue options, and then the really just low quality voice acting.
Absolutely.
Not the acting, well, the voice acting itself, but also the quality of the audio just being just super.
Absolutely. Well, I think that they obviously need to bring back the performance direction from Other M for this.
So what I'm thinking is this needs to actually release on the Super Nintendo because it actually has a mouse accessory for the Super Nintendo.
Oh,
and
that
so
sounds like
if you want to have that 90s
fit.
Graphics, just you're kind of already forced to be that way on a Super Nintendo.
I'd be on board with that. I think we should ask Nintendo to again like revive an old console that they abandoned long ago.
Oh yeah. No, I think that's so good. I'm on board. I'm 100%. I'm for this because
You'd actually play it?
Oh, actually, I think I actually would, despite the jankiness. Like, first off, I'm a huge fan of point and clicks, but I think in a weird, strange way, Metroid, despite obviously being kind of fast paced, it's also a very exploration heavy game that relies on you going places, backtracking, and getting things to help you progress, which is essentially what a point and click adventure is. So I think in a weird, strange way, I would actually find that super fun.
Well,
So,
when Mercury Steam announces a Super Metroid remake, but it's a point and click adventure, you can thank me.
I will 100% thank you. And I'll buy 10 copies because I'll be the only person buying any copies.
Yeah, exactly. It'll sell exactly 10.
Exactly 10. So, do you want to hear my Metroid pitch?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, and it's funny because of there's a lot of you gotta notice a trend. A lot of my games are simulators.
Okay.
Because I don't know why. I just think that they're just it's funny to put all the Nintendo franchises in the simulators. What's a simulator that you just don't think at all of Samus being in?
Probably probably a barista simulator.
Okay. So I have Metroid Farming Simulator.
Okay.
So it's just basically like Harvest Moon, but with Samus. So
please tell me that she's still wearing the power suit, but they're overalls that she's in.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm on board.
You discover that your uncle left you a farm on SR388, and you decide to take care of it. And you have to unlock different implements that connect to your arm thing. Yeah, so basically, they're just like the same thing. Like they're upgrades you find, but like you have to continuously upgrade your farm. So and you're just dealing with
the water beam.
Yes, the water beam. And you have to take care of. I didn't get too deep with this one, but I just thought the idea of like Samus having a straw hat, overalls, and having to like go into town and like maybe like build up friendship with the different locals and having to go back to her farm. It's just
please tell me the way that she sows seeds is she goes into morph ball form and drops the seeds like bombs, so you have to sit there and press A for every single one of the blocks that you're farming.
So that would make sense. I was thinking more just shot them into the ground, but that actually is also funny. And then what you do is like just like how you upgrade certain implements to do more things faster, you upgrade like a super bomb, which basically lets you spread more seed over a larger area.
I think it's perfect. I would play that.
So
I would absolutely play that.
Yeah, that's where my and then of course you upgrade your suit too, which is just going from like you have overalls to like I don't know like waders or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be overalls, but you add like a handkerchief around your neck.
Oh yeah. So
and then the gravity suit upgrade is just like literally a piece of straw that's like taped to her helmet as if she has it in her mouth.
Right, but she just every time you go to bed, she's just in her suit the whole time. She never gets out. And you can eventually get Metroids to help you collect stuff on your farm. Like in Harvest Moon games, you get like these little pixies that would like come in and like harvest crops and take care of stuff for you. Metroids come in and they like harvest crops and do that for you.
So would this take place in an alternate universe or like after Samus finally retires?
Oh, I was thinking it's in the same universe. Actually, I don't know. It's either like the ultimate prequel or the ultimate like the end of her career. Like this is where she started was just as a humble farmer. Before her, but she still has the power suit and everything, and then eventually, like, Ridley comes in and destroys your farm. You're like, and kills your parents, and that's the beginning of her saga. She was like she just used to be a farmer.
I mean, honestly, I think that it's been a long time since we've actually like had any discussion of Samus's origins in terms of like a game. I think the only one I can think of is like really Zero Mission, and that that came out a while ago. So I think we're due for a little bit of a retcon and just turn Metroid into a farming sim. Maybe it'll do better sales wise.
Oh yeah, retro, get on it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they've been working on this whole time.
Yeah, that's
like you. What we saw in Metroid Prime 4 is the opening, and then like she beats Silex. Like literally, like the next frame is she beats Silex, and then she finishes and she's like, you know what? I don't need to be a bounty hunter anymore, and she just goes and starts a farm on SR388.
It's Metroid beyond your expectations of what you thought this game was going to be.
So, it's funny that you came up with a farming sim because I got one for you.
Okay.
The pitch for this one's actually like relatively simple, but it goes in the more annoying category. So I figured I needed to have at least one Zelda one. So mine is a Zelda farming simulator, but here's the catch. You don't play as Link. You play as some random townsperson, and your farm is on the way out of town. And so as you plant stuff, like Link will randomly come through and cut a path through your crops because it's shorter to go through your farm than to go around your farm. And so constantly your stuff is being destroyed by Link and, of course, monsters and stuff like that.
So Link is one of the hazards in
Yes, Link is a hazard. And he just comes through and he'll just destroy everything on your farm to farm for rupees or just because it's in his way.
I just want Link to be the worst of the hazards. Like, if you have
Yes.
some bokoblins or whatever come in or whatever, but it's like when Link shows up, it's like basically like getting a hurricane come through your farm.
Absolutely. It destroys everything. Like he'll drop bombs and, I don't know, like set things on fire. Like it'd be perfect.
Oh, yeah. He ransacks your home, so like whatever money you had saved, it's just gone. Like half of your money always disappears when Link shows up.
And he steals like any crops that you already have in storage because he's hungry.
Yeah.
Like in typical RPG hero behavior.
Well, he has a black hole for pockets, so he can store unlimited lizards and like you should see my inventory right now in Legends of Zelda. I'm just like, man, how are you holding like all this rock and food and apples
And lizards.
and
Just
lizards
like a ton of lizards.
and fully cooked meals.
Right next to the lizards.
Dude, my lizard
That's
collection is
disgusting.
just off the charts.
There's so much salmonella. Oh my gosh. That'd be awful.
I love this though.
So-
Yeah, I love the idea of it like, playing with the side characters. Like kind of like we had Tingle, we had Echoes of Wisdom. Like you're playing people aren't Link, but like now Link is
I'm glad you mentioned Tingle because that's going to be my last one when we eventually get there. That's a little tease for later. I'm particularly proud of that one.
Okay, I'm gonna save my best one for last two, and I'll give you a hint. It's with Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay. One that I didn't touch. All right.
Yeah. So, but I'm not gonna bring that one up. So, but yeah, farming simulator, perfect. It's just I think that's hilarious.
I'm glad.
So mine,
Would play?
What was that? Oh, I 100% would play. I love
Okay.
those games. I mean, my wife's playing Stardew Valley right now, and it's basically a farming simulator. So, but
Yeah,
no,
my
when you say
brother and
farming
I-
simulator, are you thinking like not Harvest Moon style, but more like literally farming simulator, like kind of like with the John Deere tractors, but without the tractors?
Yeah, I was thinking more like Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon.
Oh, okay,
Like
'cause-
sort of stuff.
Because there's two different styles. You've got like the one.
Yeah,
where,
I see what you mean. Yeah, no, not like that far. I tried playing that for like 5 minutes on my PlayStation. I'm just too dumb to figure it out.
it's like a legit simulator. Like you have to balance your finances and expenses and your fertilizer and like your repair your equipment. Obviously, it's not as involved as real farming, but it's like they put a lot of depth into those things.
Yeah, is Kratos a hazard on the PlayStation version?
Oh man,
It
wait.
should be.
Oh, should be. Dude, that'd be funny.
Anyway.
All right. Well,
All right, let's move on to your next one.
I'm gonna stay with Legend of Zelda. Just I'm kind of following, like, staying in that genre, but not that genre, I should say. So it's Legend of Zelda, but I thought about how with the new games, the world is huge, and there's these different regions, and I always thought it was kind of funny how the King of Hyrule just inherently is the king of like all the regions. Which is essentially kind of like Game of Thrones. And so
Okay.
I'm thinking of like a Legend of Zelda Game of Thrones type thing, but it's not where you actually go out and fight. It's more like a game where it's just like a ton of dialogue options where you're just basically talking and like trying to work your way up to like rule the different regions. So you have like all this backstabbing and like and bribing and marriages and all this stuff between the different 5 kingdoms, because you got the Rito, the Gerudo, the Gorons, the Zora, and then the Hylians are kind of like all the main regions, right? And so the Iron Throne is Hyrule, and you're just basically, and you're like trying to like negotiate your way through, like, again, like kind of like how in like Mass Effect you have all the dialogue options and it changes like your good or bad, and it changes the whole how the game plays. But instead of this where you actually like you're not going around actually doing the fighting, it's purely just like it's almost more like a what are those Telltale games, where like
Yeah, like the Walking Dead one or the Batman one.
kind of like that, yeah. But yeah, it's just tons of dialogue options that just basically progress the story in different ways and stuff. And you can, yeah, you can a very complex system of working your way up to become the ruler of Hyrule.
Yeah, I guess my question is, like, how close to Game of Thrones are you wanting to get? Because there are definitely some things that are less family friendly than others.
Yes.
In fact, I'd say like 99% of Game of Thrones is not family friendly.
Yes, I agree. I would say it's the Nintendo version of it. So obviously, like,
Okay.
you know how Nintendo takes like, oh, the shooter franchise, they made Splatoon. You know, open world, they made Breath of the Wild, and they made, you know, all their different genres are very much more. RTS is Pikmin, right? So this is definitely more Nintendo family friendly, but it's still basically like, well, I don't know. It could be like T for teen. I don't know if it'd be M for mature. So there's still like, you know, conniving, and like, you know, you can still have the evil option where you're just a total evil person, but you're just basically bullying people into giving you power and authority. And so you eventually build alliances, and you build armies, and then you eventually take over. So
And you can just wander around and just be cruel to your citizens for like no reason.
yeah, so you can be Joffrey.
That sounds great. That sounds great.
Anyway,
as long as there's a essentially an equivalent of the Red Wedding.
Oh gosh. Well, then maybe it might not be so Nintendo. I was thinking about that, but like, yeah, you have, you know, but each, you know, place has their own families and their own history, and there can even be maybe even some sub stuff, and like you have also like, you know, obviously like the enemies in Hyrule could be kind of almost more like the White Walkers, where like this imminent threat, right? Where you're trying to like prepare, and then some people don't believe they exist, and yada yada, and you're just trying to. So you have the.
They're all just a bunch of blue book goblins, like super easy to take out, but
right.
everyone's scared of them for like no reason.
Right, but but anyway, that's just my my pitch. So.
I love it. Don't know if Nintendo would go for it, but
no, but this is why it's called Worst Nintendo IP Spinoffs. So.
That's a good point. All right, are you ready for my next one?
I am. I'm enjoying these so much.
In the vein of like cinematic, you've already heard this one because we joked about it before. But in the vein of like cinematic games, and just large open world games, Red Pikmin Redemption 2.
Right.
So it's essentially just Red Dead Redemption 2, but you replace Arthur Morgan with a red Pikmin that is actual size, and all of his dialogue consists of like, "Whoa!" and and he's got a little horse and everything, and you have to carry all of your carcass, which are just like essentially bugs, like miles. And you have to do the whole work. I think it sounds great. Like, why not have an Old West Pikmin, but it's Red Dead Redemption? I think it's perfect.
Is it gonna have like just really like serious script writing with any dialogue, or is it?
Yes, everybody else is like serious, but this one red Pikmin, like all you can say is like "whoa," and that's it.
So he's like, but everyone understands what he's saying. So it's like the equivalent of "I am Groot," but like everybody
Yes.
knows what he's saying.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm going with. Another plant guy that just says one thing.
Oh my gosh! Wait, so is there gonna be like betrayal and like gun, you know, shooting and
Absolutely. Well, and I mean, like, you know, the saloons are still there. All the less savory stuff that you could do is still there. The bounty hunting is still there. Like it's all gonna, like, the hunting, like everything, anything that you can do in Red Dead Redemption 2 besides a compelling main character, you can do in Red Pikmin Redemption 2.
I love it. Wait, so I love how it's Red Pikmin Redemption 2. As
Yes.
if you've already
As if you already had a first one. I'm essentially going Goat Simulator with it.
Oh yeah. It's true. That's so great. Oh man.
So yeah, that was my pitch. I would play. That is one I actually would play.
Yeah. Now, so you said the actual size, so like you'd be like really tiny.
Like 1 inch tall, yes.
So wait, so then but you're still crossing like a
Yes.
vast.
Yes.
Wait, but so then you're just seeing the grass.
It would take forever. Yeah, it would take forever.
it's real distances and miles. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
This is just the new desert bus.
Yeah, it essentially, every experience is Desert Bus. You can go approximately like 100 yards outside of town before like nightfall.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
It would be so terrible.
So can you get ultra spicy spray to at least like speed things up?
Yes, that's like the tobacco, and it activates like Deadeye.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Oh man,
I'm particularly proud of that.
Wait, so are you riding a horse, or what are you riding?
So you would essentially need to invent a new species, which would be like a pick horse.
Okay.
I guess it could be Ochi if you really wanted to, but maybe it's like Ochi with like a fake horse head on it.
Yeah, because all the creatures have, I think most of them all have 2 legs, right? Is there anything with 4 legs in Pikmin world?
There are a few things with 4 legs, but I mean, obviously nothing that you could like ride in Pikmin. But like the one that comes to mind is the that horrible like lightning rat thing that like has it essentially is like really long hair that covers its face, but then like it bares its teeth and like will run at the Pikmin.
I thought it looked like a dog, but
maybe it is a dog. I always thought it was a rat just because of the teeth.
Oh, yeah, probably the teeth, but it had like that kind of I don't know what kind of breed of dog that is, but yeah. So, but yeah.
Anyway, that's my pitch. Is Red Pikmin.
I love the real time part though. Like, there's just no fast travel at all.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I forgot something. You have to backtrack like a couple of like 5 hours.
Absolutely. It's oh gosh, the vendor showed up there today. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I gotta go collect this. I gotta go collect that. It'd be terrible. And then of course you would need an MMO component. So then it's impossible to find anybody.
Yeah.
It'd be like the No Man's Sky of Pikmin back before they actually like it implemented true multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be perfect.
That'd be so great.
All right, so that's my pitch for an open world Pikmin game. So I think it's your turn.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go with next. I'm thinking. I have this idea for Animal Crossing, and you know they've kind of kept upping the ante. They've made this game where now you can like craft things and it's super fun. But what if it's now like you don't have Tom Nook? You just end up on the island and you've like crash landed the plane, and now it's Animal Crossing Survive.
How did we have the same idea?
Oh, did we really?
Yes, we did. We had the exact same idea. Okay, but please go.
Okay, so what is it? You're stranded on a deserted island and you have to find food and create shelter. You start out with a certain number of animals that are stranded with you. Different animals will wash ashore, and you can either help them, enslave them, or eat them.
Okay, so slightly different from mine, but yes, this sounds good.
So yeah, and it basically like you're just, obviously your goal is to get off the island, but eventually it turns into Lord of the Flies, and so you never really leave the island. You just basically become the ruler, and you're just trying to maintain power and control, and obviously survive. Like, so you have to create either farm or just hunt wild beasts and stuff. Which I mean that kind of puts into question like, is every animal sentient, or are there animals that aren't? Like, you think the fish, right? Like, you catch fish and they're just normal fish, but then like a pig is not a pig. Like, it's a character that walks in 2 legs. So it's like,
So one of the big ethical dilemmas with Animal Crossing, basically since Wild World, is how is it that you can have an octopus neighbor and also catch octopi? Like, truly, they've never actually explained like what the difference is between them.
I've never considered
like you can get the octopus neighbor and you can catch an octopus, and you can give the octopus neighbor an octopus and they'll put it in their home, which is quite bizarre. So I think this will finally resolve the lore questions behind why in the world are some animals sentient or not. I love this. I think actually we need this. It's more than just it would be fun. I think we actually need it.
See, I need to know what your version is compared to mine. Like, we obviously came with the same idea, but like, what differences are there like that you had for your version?
Yeah, so mine was actually more along the lines of like a survival game, but mixed with like a dungeon crawler. So essentially you would end up like crash landing on an island, and there are caves on the island that you need to go into to survive, and you like will find random villagers in there, and they'll follow along with you. But since it's Animal Crossing and there's absolutely no combat, then like they are just a drain on your resources. Like, there's literally like no purpose to them, and you essentially just have to decide like, okay, when am I forcing the villager to move out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that was essentially it, but you I think yours ended up being a lot better.
I think there's similarities there. You have to prevent like mutinies, right? From uprisings.
Absolutely. And then, I'm noticing a theme with yours.
Yeah,
President Peach, Game of Thrones.
I don't know why. Because I kind of was trying to take each IP in a direction, like, because there's certain spin-offs. Thought of a lot of different ones, and some of them like, no, I actually kind of legitimately liked it. So I was trying to come up with ones where I'm like, no, these are just like so against what the franchise generally is that
Absolutely.
they would never get made, or people would be so upset if they did. There'd be a select few of people that would like it, but overall, the major fan base would just be like, what the heck is this? It'd be like such a departure, not just from like, but like, even like with Legend of Zelda, right? It's not even just a departure in maturity but also in gameplay, because you're not actually moving a character around. You're just going from dialogue option to dialogue option, and you're just trying to, just so a lot of my games are very much like trying to up, change the formula, but also like just wait till you get to the last one though. You're gonna realize that it can get weirder. So, so we both did Animal Crossing Survive, basically.
Yeah. So I feel like because I pitched mine, like, but it was like short and basically the same thing as yours, I feel like I should go.
Yeah, you should. 100%.
Okay. So here's one for you. So you know how we got the new Mario Kart, sneak peek, and the tracks look like they're super long, like, and you were pitching that it might be like called Mario Kart Road Trip or something like that was like your hypothesis.
Yeah.
So what if instead of it having traditional Mario Kart gameplay, what if the next Mario Kart is just the Oregon Trail, but it's Mario Kart? So it's all text based. It's a text based race.
Oh my gosh! Oh, so you're full Oregon Trail. Holy cow.
It's full Oregon Trail, and your character can die of dysentery along the way. I don't know. I'm on board with it. I think this could work out real well. I mean, you got to show off the power of the Switch 2, and there's no better way to show off the power of the Switch 2 than with a text-based game.
Well, you got the mouse too, so it's like, I don't know, you can click different options and stuff. But
and if you need to go hunt Yoshis for food,
yeah,
they do have Yoshi Burger. That's confirmed now.
Oh right, I know. I was just thinking in my head, like, what's like another Mario themed thing for dysentery, but I couldn't think of anything.
I don't know. I'm sure there's got to be something. I mean, I guess like in the Bean Kingdom, they probably have a lot of beans, so that could probably give you a lot of flatulence. Maybe that's the closest thing.
Right, you just have bowel intestinal, issues from your food.
Yeah, and just from gas station burritos.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh, if gas station sushi is a Japanese game, so. That's
true. It would be sushi, wouldn't
eating
it?
Bad sushi.
Maybe that's the way that you bring Splatoon characters into it and like canonize them.
Oh yeah, just make them basically turn them into sushi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, I should have taken that idea. I was trying to think of something for Splatoon, but I genuinely just I didn't really think about it too much.
I mean, I guess
Oregon Trail Mario Kart.
That recontextualizes exactly what you're shooting around in Splatoon, actually, now that you think about it.
You're shooting other squids?
I mean, if they're squid people and they make ink, I mean...
Well, yeah, that's the
I don't know. Maybe that's something that we talk about a different time.
Yeah.
we need to not think about that. Anyway, so that was my... I'm going to say more or less second to last one.
Okay, because I'm gonna do one more. Then you do your final one. I'll do my final one. So,
okay.
I'm just trying to decide. I've got a few. I haven't done a Pikmin one yet. I just don't have a lot to go on for this one, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. Maybe you can kind of pitch how to make it a little bit more interesting. But I was thinking, what's a genre Nintendo hasn't really dipped their toes into too much, and also something that would just make this be the funniest thing, because with Pikmin, you've got a bunch of Pikmin. You have your team.
I think I see where this is going.
So what about Pikmin Madden?
This is not where I thought it was going, but okay.
Pikmin NFL. So you have your different teams. You have your purple and rock Pikmin as your defense, and then you have your like your white and your yellow Pikmin is like, I don't know, like I actually don't follow football a whole bunch, but I still think I played Madden games before. I just thought the idea of like these Pikmin, but like each one is like looks very distinctly different with like different hairdos and different like uniforms, and like just doing all the like they score a touchdown and just this Pikmin doing a little dance like right at the head goal, and like Madden just like commentating like this Pikmin version of NFL being played.
Yeah, the key to running is to keep your feet moving.
Yeah.
In typical John Madden fashion. I love it. I think that we absolutely need to have a Pikmin Sports, and that actually sounds really funny. But so here's what you need to do though, is you need to follow the super ethical model that everybody loves and have it all be loot crate based. So you get your new Pikmin players that have like random hairdos and stuff like that, and like just like a name, like it'd be like Tom or something like that, like not even a last name, but it's a Pikmin with like a specific jersey and specific stats, but it's only available through loot crates that you have to pay for.
Pretty much, yeah. It's gonna make millions.
Okay, good.
Billions.
As long as that's part of it, then I think that this could definitely fly, and Nintendo would be on board because they could make a ton of money off of it.
Oh yeah, and it's just gonna be like in different like team building and like different. I don't know. I think that'd be so funny. Like just. Yeah.
It would be really good. And then you could branch off and do like FIFA.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You start with this, but then you go FIFA. Because I was thinking like, oh, you could do FIFA. You could do the
NBA 2K,
PGA Tour. You have your base. All the different the sports games. But yeah, just with Pikmin, like Pikmin golf would be hilarious. Just like these super like in polos, these Pikmin wearing polos, and just walking around with their little caddies and like
golf clubs made out of nails.
Right.
That'd be perfect. I'm on board. This sounds great.
Or the Pikmin are the clubs, and so you're all them are. And so like purple Pikmin are like drivers. And,
oh gosh!
And then your putter is like a white Pikmin.
And this sounds great to me. Yeah, like because you need to have like I don't know why like I don't know if you've ever played much like Mario Golf, but you have like 1,000 different clubs that you can pick from. But like you essentially only ever use like 2 of them, or at least I only ever did. But I didn't play that much. I don't know. Maybe there are like some like specific strategies that you're supposed to use, and I'm just too dumb to figure it out.
Yeah, I think when it comes to video games, I just don't take golf too seriously, like with Wii Sports Golf or anything. But I'm sure, like, if you were actually playing real golf, there probably is a genuine difference. But we're playing make-believe golf with Mario or me characters, so it's like...
So the speed run for, like, Wii Sports Golf is actually really interesting.
I'll have to watch that.
Like, no joke, it's actually kind of interesting. But anyway...
I didn't even know there was a speed run for that. That's hilarious.
There is, yeah. There's a video on it. Summoning Salt did one, and it's actually kind of cool. But anyway, all that aside, this game would absolutely not be cool to watch. This would be very boring, as most sports games are to watch. But I don't know.
It was one of my worst Nintendo IP spinoffs I could think of. So
I think it's a great pick.
Okay.
So it's actually my final pick is staying sort of in the sports arena, kind of. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm all ready.
All right. It's a WWE game starring Tingle called Tungle in the Jungle. Because he's already wearing the like leotard thing, and there are a bunch of them based on Wind Waker, and I think you could have a WWE game with just Tingle. It would be extremely disturbing, as Tingle like truly is. Like the thing is Katie's actually deathly afraid of Tingle. Like, yeah. My wife, like, hates Tingle with a fiery passion. I don't know about you, but that's my pitch. I think that a WWE game with an overweight, like, weird fairy guy would be probably the best thing ever.
That's so funny. That actually makes too much sense.
I know, right? It's, like, it's actually too good. I had to end it on one that's actually, like, could theoretically be done. If you were to go, like, I actually, in some ways... could see this as being more plausible if you went away from the WWE route and went with the sumo wrestling route, just simply because like we actually did sort of get some sumo wrestling in a Legend of Zelda game back in Twilight Princess.
Yep, I was just gonna say.
Yep, and we haven't seen Tingle in a while. What's he been up to? I think probably this.
Wait, in one of the recent Zelda games, I think it's in Tears of the Kingdom. Isn't like Yunobo wearing like a wrestler mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I mean, this is definitely wrestling. I think there's so much opportunity. Gorons, and like I could just see like as like some weird Zora just being like I don't know, just all these different races, just like Bokoblins, dude, they'd be hilarious in the ring.
Yeah, the Bokoblin leaders or whatever from Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Ganondorf himself should show up.
Oh.
He's kind of ripped, but
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. That'd be so funny. And him in like a sumo, not a sumo, but like a wrestling getup. Like, and they all have like their own like entrances that they have special and like different like moves that they're, it's just, yeah, this would be so great.
Yeah, I feel like this has got to be the thumbnail that you generate.
It's got to be one of this one or the next one.
Okay, I got to hear it. What's your best one?
So, I'm trying to figure out I want to paint the picture before I give the title. So,
okay.
Think of a game where you have, it's kind of almost escape room style game.
Okay.
But you're trying to get out. But you have a set amount of time. And if you don't hit that time limit, it doesn't end well for you. But then the game just loops, and then you have another chance, and you have to keep basically trying to figure out ways to escape. Well, so I'm basically you have a set time because this game, and my wife came up with this name, so I couldn't. It's Donkey Kong Harambe's Groundhog Day.
Oh my gosh.
So
Harambe Kong, Donkey Kong's long lost brother.
So it's basically just Donkey Kong. He's at the zoo. He's stuck there, and he knows he only has a set amount of time to figure out how to escape, because if he doesn't, a child falls into the ring and he gets shot.
Oh my god.
And then the game loops and he has to try again.
It's like the Super Meat Boy of Donkey Kong.
Basically, but it's like the day it's Groundhog Day. You keep reliving the same day and over until you figure out what the key is to getting out.
That's a horrifying possibility.
I just couldn't get over the name of Harambe's Groundhog Day.
It's so bad. My goodness.
Anyway, I definitely can't see Nintendo endorsing this game, especially with that title. But
there's no shot.
But
the Nintendo seal of approval will never grace its cover.
But just the idea of Donkey Kong trying to. Oh man. Anyway,
we haven't gotten a DK game in a long time. And maybe that's why they went with the rebranding for DK for Mario Kart. We may be getting this may be it.
They're making him more of gorilla look like. Oh man! So yeah, that's my final one.
I love it. I think so. So if we had to pick one that we felt was the best one,
so define best.
Like most absurd, but probably least likely to happen.
Oh, I mean, either that one or, from each of ours, or just in general.
Yeah, I guess each of ours. Like, which do we like best? Now that we've pitched it, because like you think about it, and what you think in your head is different from like how you've pitched it. But now that you've it's come out, like what do you think?
Gosh, I mean, if I were to pick the one I just guaranteed isn't going to happen from Nintendo, I mean,
it's definitely the Harambe.
It's the Harambe one, but second place would be probably Mario Reddit moderator. Just because I don't.
Yeah, that one was really good. I think the one I'm the most proud of is probably Red Pikmin Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's definitely takes the cake. That's such a good one.
Yeah.
I just think, yeah. Now here's the thing: which game do you think actually has, if maybe it was tweaked a little, you think could actually maybe the least worst idea, maybe one that you think could actually happen?
Yeah, now that I've pitched it, you've actually got me sold that my Metroid point and click adventure might actually be somewhat good. But it'd have to be like a $15 eShop title. You know what I mean?
It'd be absolutely a spin-off game that is catered to building the Metroid franchise with kids. So I mean, if it wasn't if we're just being real, if it wasn't 90s graphics, it was today's graphics, but it's a point and click adventure with Metroid. And it's like an enclosed experience. Like maybe it's out on a space station. It's in a specific area of a planet. It's not really jumping out of you're not having to go to too many worlds, right? Mm-hmm. I could see it working.
Yeah, it probably has a lot more potential than I thought it did. Yeah. I don't know. So rumor is that if we were getting a February Direct, that there will be a game from a niche franchise that people love. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any of my games I could actually see happening though, and not too many. There's a few that I didn't pitch that I could kind of see happening, but I don't know. Pokemon Butcher maybe if it wasn't actually like brutally killing a Pokemon. But Metroid Farming Simulator I don't see. Definitely not Game of Thrones. Peach Simulator, like I don't see it being like an election thing, but maybe one where you actually like more of like you do run a town. I could see Peach running like a town, kind of like if you were like Isabelle from Animal Crossing, but like with Peach in the Mushroom Kingdom.
So I could see it totally being like a city manager, but if it's Pauline in New Donk City. I think that's actually the most plausible way that exists.
That makes more sense, actually. I should have done Pauline. But I kind of wanted the whole idea of like, there's the big opening of like, what's Bowser going to do? Why is he ruining everything? It's like he's literally trying to usurp her authority by saying, why are we listening to this this monarchy? Like, why we didn't elect her? Like, we should have an election. And they're like, yeah, you're right. We should have an election.
The consent of the governed.
Yeah. And it just changes. It goes into a full democracy and it changes. And now she's like, oh, I have to actually like prove why I'm the best.
I have to do something, and I have to stop printing all these gold coins. Inflation is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I can't keep relying on my national security on this plumber.
Oh gosh. That's a really good point. Mario is basically like the closest thing to a Navy SEAL that the Mushroom Kingdom has, actually.
They're one and only.
And he gets high on mushrooms. That's
right.
good to know.
And Luigi's just like the Coast Guard.
Yeah, he's the Coast Guard and / Ghostbuster.
Yeah. No, I was thinking like in terms of like his like the Marines or the Navy SEAls are like top dogs, and then you just have like Border Patrol or.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
They're still good. No disrespect, but like obviously like there's a difference in level between those two.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference in the way that the public perceives them. Deserved or not, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's been our crazy Nintendo spin-off ideas. Nintendo, call us.
Yeah, we have more where that came from. Guaranteed. We could easily make more, and we can make you a ton of money.
Yeah. Do you have any honorable mentions that you just want to throw out there? Not have to pitch them.
Yeah, I got one. So there was one that, as you know, I love The Godfather. I think it's the best movie ever made. But I have always wanted to see like a period piece Mario, a 3D Mario that's essentially just a Grand Theft Auto game, but it's Mario, called the Super Mafia Brothers. I've really wanted that for a very long time, and I specifically want Luigi to pull out the poltergust and say hello to my little friend. I've wanted that for forever. I know I'm never getting it, but that was an honorable mention for me.
Isn't that Scarface?
It is.
Okay.
So it's different, but like it would be an homage to the entire thing. But specifically, I love The Godfather in particular, which makes me somewhat interested in like the mafia genre. I actually haven't seen Scarface. I've only seen clips of Scarface, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll watch that soon. But yeah, that was my honorable mention. You got one that you want to mention?
I got a few, but I'm just pick. So I had one that was basically Fire Emblem Kids education game, where it's basically just teaching them their ABCs and stuff. And the whole idea just came from the idea of like to learn their colors. They just have each of them have different hair color, and so you you have the characters that's just picking the hair color to teach them red, blue, green, and it's like that's just like so. I just figured that was a funny one.
I feel like I'm probably wrong about this, but you remember in Awakening how like you could get some like of the kids of like the characters, like if you had them have a high enough support conversation that they end up like getting married or whatever, then they have a kid, and you can get that kid as a unit.
Yep.
And that kid usually had a fusion of the two hair colors of the parents. That's essentially what you're pitching right there.
Yep, basically.
It is a Fire Emblem like dating sim / hair painting game. Right.
Well, I mean, it would be like kind of like those old '90s point and clicks, like education games, like Reader Rabbit kind of thing. Yeah. And then, but like they teach you shapes, but like here's the weapon triangle, and the sword is or the hammer.
What would be good to use against this?
Right. So that was that idea, and then I had like a few other ones where it was like Legend of Zelda: The Adventures of the Snot-Nosed Kid from Wind Waker.
Oh, please tell me that he could be like Indiana Jones, like use his snot as a whip to cross like caverns and stuff like that, just like the grappling hook.
See, I didn't put anything in there. I just love the idea of just being like the whole game is just you being on that island stuck as that snot-nosed kid, like trying to figure out like, and you're basically homeless, and so you're like trying to like get people to want to like let you in because nobody loves you.
Oh gosh, that's just too sad. Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Anyway, and then I had another one was like Super Smash Brothers Family Feud Edition, where it's just basically a game show, but like you just play as different Smash Brothers characters trying to answer trivia questions.
Oh, I love this. This sounds great. This sounds like the Everybody Votes channel, but like worked in with like Super Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm. And then
do you remember the Everybody Votes?
Oh, I do. I actually missed that. I wish they'd come back with more of that stuff.
Yeah. Like, they would just have, like, some, like, truly bizarre questions.
It's so trippy, too, because if you get the Nintendo Music app, like, they have all the music from all the Wii channels. And so I was, like, listening to that. I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that. You're, like, listening to this music, and you remember the app, like, where it is in the app just from the music.
Yep.
So.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know why. There's something about the Wii in particular that just has this, like, magical, like, nostalgia to it. I don't know why.
It's they put so much love and care into making it just a really fun system, like a system that everybody would want to be in. And I think that's why it succeeded so well, is because it just had so much personality. The fact that every single menu you went on in that system had its own soundtrack. Like, think about that for a second. The fact that there's like, I don't know, there's like 20 or 30 songs on that one album. That's all just different portions of the menu. There's like a different song for if you're in the weather app for like morning, noon, and afternoon and evening or something. And then like, you know, the news app had its own one. The photos app had like 2 or 3 different songs because of different parts of the photo app you were in. Obviously the Wii shop channel had like the most banger music of all time. Oh gosh,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the Me Creation music was super iconic. Even the Everybody Votes has like, I was listening to songs like, I remember like this music. It was so trippy.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
So, yeah, definitely a different time. So, anywho, well, we've definitely, I think, hit our quota.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little bit over an hour. That's what we aim for every week here on the Super Dandori Brothers.
Yeah. No, this has been fun. We're going to definitely do more of these. This is what we wanted to get into. We really wanted to kind of introduce ourselves, and now we're kind of getting to the real stuff, the stuff that matters, the stuff that Nintendo needs to hear.
Absolutely. I got a ton of useless ideas. I mean, not useless, but, you know, really fun ideas to talk about that Nintendo will sadly never use. But, I mean, hey, you never know. Maybe they will use it. And honestly, like, I'd be fine if Nintendo doesn't give me money for it. I just kind of want to see these made.
Oh, 100%.
But if Nintendo does want to pay me for it, I would not object.
Yeah, I mean, just, like a 1 penny royalty I'll take.
Yeah.
If it was like
unfortunately,
a million copies.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that we'd be able to get a patent on any of these. Maybe a copyright.
Yeah. Not
a patent.
No, some modder needs to go out there and make these a reality because Nintendo won't.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe there's some random modder that's listening to this, in which case, please.
Steal our ideas.
Make Super Mafia Brothers a reality for me. I've been wanting that for 20 years.
Please.
And, I think it's time for it to exist.
If Nintendo takes it down, then it's canon.
It's true. That actually is true. That's why they tried to cancel Pal World, is because they're coming out with the Pokemon Butcher game.
Yep, 100%. I mean, you've got to go out and shoot your own Pokemon and then bring them in and gut them and clean them, and that's how it is.
Yeah, I'd be on board. It's sort of in line with Red Pikmin Redemption.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's just more like the full-fledged open world version, whereas mine's just like the mini game.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you play as it's the same universe, but you play as the butcher.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's actually all Pokemon instead of like regular animals. I feel like you could create a shared universe with a lot of this and make it truly awful.
Oh yeah, well I mean, like Smash Brothers, you basically just have like this open world of every Nintendo character, and like just every kind of genre. As like, imagine if Nintendo made, you know the game Dreams for PlayStation. Yeah, and for those who don't know, it's basically you make your own games. It gives you all the tools. You make your own games. It's like Little Big Planet on steroids. And just imagine if Nintendo gave that kind of tool with like their IP accessible. That'd be insane.
I feel like the closest that we ever got to anything like that was Mario Maker.
Yeah, very very curated, very like clean cut. People still got pretty creative with that, but yeah, I think, and I wonder too, like, I know I'm getting a little off topic, but I think that might be something with the mouse controls we see a lot more of in the next generation with the extra added hardware. The mouse controls is a lot more user-generated content stuff for. I mean, they Tears of the Kingdom was very much about you building your own stuff. Mario Maker, Animal Crossing, building your own town. I could see the next Mario Kart having a track builder.
Absolutely.
And Smash Brothers has had stage builders for a while, but maybe it'll get more elaborate. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that, and I think Nintendo needs that because it's going to keep their games alive and fresh for longer.
Absolutely. And then we can hopefully make some of these ideas a reality.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, you heard it here first. We're going to post it online so that it's locked in, so we can point to this and say, we thought of it first. Haha, we win.
And hopefully the thumbnail looks really crazy on this one.
Oh man, I'm going to have to put some work in on this one. Well, anyway, thank you everyone for listening. This has been a blast. I hope you enjoyed this, and there'll be a lot more of these kind of wacky theoretical things we're going to come up with. Trust me, we have a long list. So
we do.
If you enjoyed this, please give it a like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube, or if you're on Spotify or Apple or any of this. We have a ton of, you go in the description, we've got a ton of platforms where we've got podcasts on. So let us know what you think of these ideas and what ideas you might have. We'd love to hear them. So anyway, that's us, the Super Dandori Bros. I'm Leighton. He's Ryan. Thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.